And we are back again. It's your friendly neighborhood film watchers. We are Frankly Football. I'm your humble host, Brandon, and I got my man, 100 Grand. Set it off, Chris, with me. Chris, we
Yes.
all expected that the Cowboys would eventually part ways with Trevon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
We thought it would happen probably after June 1st, though. But
Yeah.
with one game left to play in a season that is done for all intents and purposes, the Cowboys decided to release Trevon Diggs.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. They decided to part ways with the mercurial
Mm-hmm.
um uh All Pro. As you see in
Mm-hmm.
my background, I got the picture of the All Pro when Trayvon.
Mm-hmm.
All three of these guys are no longer Cowboys, and they all
Yeah.
decided to leave in different kind of ways. One
Mm-hmm.
guy decided to get a new deal
Mm-hmm.
and cash strapped the football team. They had to pay him into his retirement.
Mm.
Another guy ended up waiting until a week before the season, say I don't want to be here no more after trying
Mm-hmm.
to play, trying to pitch pennies or shoot dice with Jerry Jones in the bathroom to try to figure
Mm-hmm.
out what he wanted to do with his career. And then the last guy, man, turned around and continued to say, you know what? I want to be out of here.
Chris, I lost your audio, bro. Nah, go in and go out. All right, so boom. While Chris is working on fixing his tech issues, right? I think I'm not necessarily mad that Trevon Diggs is gone because I think that it means that Schottenheimer is consistent. Give me a mic check.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm with you.
Yep, I can hear you now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what I was saying, Chris, is I'm not mad that Diggs is gone because it makes Schottenheimer look consistent. You know, um, when
Elaborate.
Schottenheimer became the head coach, he talked about how he wanted guys that love football. He wanted guys that wanted to be here, and he stood on that in a variety of ways. Let's start off with this way: the Cowboys needed for an entire year a running back behind Javonte Williams. Jadon Blue was drafted as, and they touted him as the guy who could do that. Jadon Blue couldn't necessarily get the classroom stuff straight, and maybe even some of the maturity stuff. I have not asked about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Shotty said, "You know what? Nah, he's just not ready." After Blue has played, I want to say 2 games this year. Um, Jonathan Mingo. When I asked some people about him, I'm saying, Chris, my phone ain't gold, but it's kind of like stainless steel.
Got you. Mm-hmm.
I asked some people about that. I know 2 people, and
Mm-hmm.
both of them said just can't make it work. And what they mean by that is just can't find a place for him at the moment, and so just got to stash him. See how it works out next year. And the same has gone on for other guys. As much as I like him, Wanye Thomas. Wanye could never get the classroom stuff right, and his progression into a role on the team was stymied because of that. All of those guys
Okay.
don't make a lot of money. Diggs make a lot of money, and usually you can find out things about the Cowboys if you follow the dollar signs. For the majority of this year, Trevon Diggs has had the ire of a lot of this staff. And Shotty stood on business after he had his concussion at home, doing who knows what. Well, you know
Right.
what? Not even who knows what. After his TV pole hit him in the head when he was
Right.
trying to be a handyman that makes millions of dollars per year. He stood on business. So, and we got Joe in the chat box. Joe, appreciate you being here, brother. So I appreciate the consistency from Shotty because there have been cases, especially on Dallas, where the players who make a lot of money get one set of rules, the players who are the stars get one set of rules, and then everybody else get another set. I appreciate Shotty standing on business.
So you appreciate him standing on business by taking one of your better players and ostracizing him, because I don't think that has anything to do with Shotty. I think this went from the top down. This is
You think
something we've
so?
been what this is something that's been going on. Like I said before I got cut off, and I'm sorry.
Don't worry
Um,
about that.
um, they've been behind him ever since he didn't want to work out in the facility to get better
Mm-hmm.
under their care. They
Mm.
had a stipulation inside of his contract,
Yep.
with him not and with his contract that he had to spend so many
85%
days,
of the
yeah,
time
yeah, 85% of his time training there. He
yeah,
decided he wanted to train elsewhere,
in Miami.
and he turned around and made a YouTube channel showing
Yeah.
his recovery. So
Mm-hmm.
when we turned around and we started the season, when he started doing it, he wasn't around them. They decided, okay, we're going to dock him $500,000. That was
Mm-hmm.
the first thing, and this was unprecedented. They had
Yeah.
never done this to anyone else during
Mm-hmm.
their training.
Yeah.
So that was already the start of that. So here he is. He doesn't trust the staff because he went ahead and did it the first time, and then he gets re-injured. So he wants to train elsewhere with people he can trust. So I'm kind of to the point where he had fallen out of favor with them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they were kind of looking for a reason to get rid of him. All the guaranteed money was already paid up. So this was kind of like, yeah, we're gonna do you a solid. We're gonna cut you now, let you clear waivers, and then you can sign on with whomever you want to as a free agent for the last couple of days. I mean, if you get signed to a playoff team that needs a guy, hey, go there. If you get signed somewhere else and you can do that, but it's not gonna cost us any money
Sure.
because all your guaranteed money's out of the way. So I didn't look at this as um them standing on business. They just looked
Mm-hmm.
at it as a money move. Listen, we don't want him here. Um, we're gonna, our defense is already hot buttered turkey ass.
Mm-hmm.
We've
Yeah.
already paid the guy we wanted to pay. We played DeRon Bland,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not an outside corner. He's a slot corner.
In
We're
reality,
gonna
yeah.
live. Yeah, no, but he always was. You paid him like he was outside, but he was always a slot guy. So,
Always.
and you turned around and you got Ravel, who is a rookie,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to take somewhat of your approach. Well, now I'm not going to take your approach. You don't judge rookies because you don't expect nothing from them. I expected something from him because he was so highly touted. He was a steal in the third round because had he been healthy, he was quote unquote, he was going to have a first round grade. Well, he
Sure.
don't trust that knee yet. And
Mm-hmm.
he's not going to trust that knee until next year around
Around training camp.
July, around
Around training
training
camp.
camp, which puts him right in the window of the Christopher Lester injury
Hey,
window.
look.
So
Hey,
hey,
when you're right, you're
I am
right.
what hey, I'm right. I'm on. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I'm like a broke clock. I'm at least right twice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in his situation, um, and all this, he didn't buy in. All the different things that they're trying to spend that he didn't buy. That guy didn't go from being an All Pro,
Mm-hmm.
a feared DB in this
Mm-hmm.
league to turn around and just not understanding football. The things we've been saying about Eberflus and his cover two and things like that, and people have been saying people having to learn stuff every day, something new. But I think his maturity was the issue here.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, you got a full-time gig. I run a business. There are
Yep.
certain things that you like to do. There's certain things that you don't that you like to do, things you don't like to do. He
Certain
like
things
playing.
that you need to do at the same
Yeah, yeah,
time, though.
no, yeah, and certain things you like to do, certain things you want to do. But and going back, you're right. But there are sometimes certain things at your job you got to do so you can stay gainfully employed.
Yeah.
Trayvon probably looked at it like, you know what? All the guaranteed money, I'm out the window any way I can get up out of here. Let me maintain my health. Do this, like you say, on the back line that we bring a homie that we know and we love. It's
Mm-hmm.
been certain things going back and forth saying, hey, he didn't get it. He didn't vibe
Mm-hmm.
with Britt. And it was always that. And so the Cowboys trust Britt Brown. They love
Yeah.
Britt Brown. They
Yeah.
love what he does in certain things. But we can totally honestly say that it's been voted on by the players that they don't have enough trainers in this building.
Yeah.
They don't have
Year
enough
after year.
personnel.
Year after year after year.
Yeah, year after year, they are the highest profile football team in all of football. They make more money than anybody else,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have and the players are saying we need more people in the building. And Britt Brown is kind of like, and I've known professionals who are in the medical field. They love who they like, and they don't want to bring other people on. So they kind of keep it like this. So Your employees are saying we need a better snack machine. But the dude that runs the vending machine company like his machines. They old, they dilapidated, but they work. And he trusts those. And I think that was the issue here. So that's my part with that. With him. Go ahead. Because I know you were saying, you know, I think there's a couple other factors that went along with it that led to this release as well. What do you think is one of them?
Chris, I think buying in is much more important than what you're talking about.
Buying into what?
Buying into a belief system that a coach has in place, a thing that a coach wants to do. I think buying in general, whether it's from other coaches to other players to all around, has a lot more impact than what you think. Chris, Kenneth Murray is not a good football player, but he does exactly what the coaches want him to. Well, ask of him. I think that
he don't.
But wait. Let me land. I think that he supports the coach's belief system and what they want to do. But Chris, Kenneth Murray is an awful football player, and he shouldn't be on the field. Chris, wait. Chris. All of it took forever for Jadeveon Clowney to get on the field. Chris, we had to deal with Sam Williams for a long time before they allowed Jadeveon Clowney to get on. I think that Sam Williams allegedly bought into what the coaches wanted. Chris, I think that a few of these DBs did what the coaches wanted to, and they shouldn't have been on the field, but they bought into the coach's belief system. Chris, I think that Matt Eberflus for a long time, he established this belief system with Shoddy, and that's why he had as much freedom to do what he wanted to for the majority of the year, because they tried to have all of the players buy in to their belief system.
Belief system in what?
What the coach wants. The supporting argument of this is that Logan Wilson didn't see the field. They kept Kenneth Murray on the field.
Because
I think that having guys that buy in is a lot more important to these coaches than what we initially believed.
Wait a minute, B. Hold on. Maybe you know.
Go ahead.
Because I'm trying to get. What did you want? Shoddy wants them to buy into what? If the kid is telling you this doesn't work, this goes back to what I'm saying. That Eberflus wants to run cover 2, right?
Sure.
He wants to run cover 2. What you gonna say? Cover 2 don't work because we ain't got the safeties to run cover 2.
Yeah,
he's saying that. Now he's saying that, we see it every week. They don't have the safety. We know they don't have the guys to run.
I agree.
So I'm supposed to buy into something that doesn't work, and then it makes me look bad, and that makes me a bad person? I'm just asking.
I don't think that it makes you a bad person.
What does it make
another thing that I think truly messed them up. I can say it now because it's out there on Twitter from like verified sources. Well, not sources, but other verified pages. I think that on top of just the play issues, Diggs bumped head with the coaches very, very often. He became a malcontent. He became a malcontent.
He did it with them. He didn't do that with the guy that they let go. So he's person. So what we're basically saying, he was under contract for this year. So they got rid of the coach that he liked, and Al Harris. Got rid of him. Then
hold on, Michael. Let me turn off this music. Chris, losing Al Harris might go down as one of the most detrimental things to this group of DBs. Because him out there in his new crib out there in the Northwest, in the Midwest, excuse me.
Yeah.
Chris, they balling.
I mean, they playing good. They playing good football. Okay, so that DB. So we can basically say that you turned around, you didn't keep Al Harris.
Yeah.
So let's go back to it. First off, you got rid of the coach that drafted me, right? Because no, they didn't. Because Nolan was the DC that drafted him
in 2021. Yeah, Dan Quinn was 22, 23, and 24.
Yeah, right. So Dan Quinn leaves. All right,
the coach that helped him develop into a much better player.
Right, yeah. Then Al Harris gets up out the building, right? Mm-hmm. Get rid of my coach,
his dude.
His guy. Guy taught him how to be a DB in the NFL, right?
Yep.
Then he got rid of his homeboy, his main dude, Michael Parsons.
Yeah.
Right? So, unlike most people, if you turn around, my coach is gone, my main dude's gone. Yep. I don't want to be here no more. Mm-hmm. And it may have turned into the point I'm trying to get myself out of here any way I need it. He didn't even pitch a bitch when he lost $500,000. I can't lose $20 and I ain't about to tear this whole house up.
Chris, I can't lose too.
Okay, there you go. So it may have been to the point where he doesn't get it or he's just not rocking with the program. I think
now,
he's in the mindset. Go ahead.
I can also say this because other people have came out and said this. I was talking about you, Bob. Yeah, that is a quote from somebody, in on this staff. This guy just doesn't get it.
Right.
He's not a part of the program.
Right.
Okay.
So in that situation, they may have done him a solid. He got all his money. It's this week. He'll clear waivers by the end of the week. God forbid anybody.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody's picking up that contract.
Ain't nothing to pick up.
Yeah,
all the guarantee money's paid.
Unless somebody chooses to claim him off of waivers. Well, if somebody chooses to claim him off of waivers, they would have to pick up the contract that he currently has.
Right.
If he clears waivers,
he's a free agent.
Put him on whatever. Yeah.
Right. So he can turn around now, and basically clear waivers. God forbid somebody gets hurt. He gets the opportunity to go elsewhere. He gets to go somewhere else, get an opportunity to play, and he says he's healthy and play the way he knows he can play. So, it's a sad situation. It's a real sad situation. But it just falls into the pattern of second round draft picks for the Cowboys. Those guys, you get drafted in the second round, it's a bad situation there. Because most of those guys don't get to their second deal. He's one of the few that got to a second deal.
And Chris, I think that I don't think that the Cowboys tried to do him a solid. I think that they were just tired of him, especially after this past weekend when he blew up on the coaches. I think they was just tired of him, and I think Schottenheimer walked up the stairs and into one of the big offices, to somebody whose last name is John can't get fired, and say, you know what, I can't do it. I'm done with him.
So why he don't do that? Why he do that to Kenneth Murray? Because I sure as hell can't deal with him.
You right.
Huh?
Why? I think that goes back to the disposition thing, the attitude thing, the buy-in thing. I think that he's much more willing to put up with guys like Kenneth Murray, even though he has guys who could and should get more playing time.
So since Kenneth Murray don't get up there and say, "Hey, y'all got me out here looking bad. Y'all got me out here looking crazy," because I also think another part of it with Diggs is that he listened to what people said on social media and things of that nature. And so, if Kenneth Murray, evidently Kenneth Murray doesn't have social media. Kenneth Murray
if he did, Chris, he would know that I'm one of his biggest haters.
Okay, I don't think you are.
He would know that he does not have a fan in me. He would know that he has never had a fan in me.
Got you. So because he doesn't subscribe to social media and listen to people call him terrible when he knows he's not terrible, and when Trevon Diggs
does he know that he's not terrible?
Oh no, Trevon Diggs knows he's not terrible. Kenneth Murray is terrible.
I thought you was talking about Kenneth Murray. Excuse me.
No.
Pardon me. Pardon my outburst.
Oh no, my bad. Yeah, I led you down the wrong. I'm leading you astray there.
Yeah,
because Kenneth Murray has been told he's not a good football player for years. So it's one of those positions, man. Hey, man, he fell out of favor with the Joneses because they don't get rid of people that they like and love, no matter how bad they are. They'll let them cut a fool, act up in meetings, not even half-ass show up until the last minute before they'll let them do it. But
and that's why I think that Shotty just said that he was tired of them. Because the Joneses don't usually release big money guys in the middle of the season. They don't usually do that.
But he's not a big money guy in their
Mhm.
situation
Yeah.
because they don't own no more bread,
Mm-hmm.
and they can get from underneath it, and they can
Mm-hmm.
turn around and recoup some of their money back in
Mm-hmm.
their pocket. They ain't got to pay out. So he wasn't really he had the trifecta.
Yeah.
He didn't cost him a lot of money. They gonna make it seem like he's a malcontent, so he doesn't look good for nobody else in the league.
Yeah.
And that's at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, man, um, you hurt your DB room, but it's only one more game left. We only gotta watch this for one
Yeah.
more game.
Yeah.
We
60 more
already know.
minutes.
Yeah, we got 4 more quarters. We already know they ass. Okay, that's good. But
Mm-hmm.
it just goes back to show you that how they will stick with somebody as long as they don't rock the boat,
Mm-hmm.
and they can go in front of the media and say, "Oh well, no, that's not really what's going on. Oh no, I like the way we do this and the third," and the guy telling you, "Hey, this doesn't work." And
Yeah.
then when you, and all our other fellow content creators and the media gets out and say, "Yo, they are terrible," and the numbers show statistically they're worse than the 2020 team.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's easier to say, "Oh, Trayvon's terrible. He's bad."
Mm-hmm.
Nah, this defense don't work. He's not setting up. You haven't had the safeties to run it, and now they're starting back at ground zero. So, hey, salute to Trayvon. I got nothing bad to say about him. I don't have any ill
Nothing
will
at all.
against him.
I
You
don't have
know,
nothing at all bad
yeah.
to say about
I want him to go on and have a great career
Yep.
and go forward.
Mm-hmm. Joe, Kenneth Murray does have a fan. He's another content creator. Shout out to Okoye. He will sing his praises from the highest hills, as he has all season. Shout out to Okoye though. He uses his film. He uses the film to back up his claims. So even though I don't agree with him, I appreciate that he's using the film to back up his claims. He's not just saying it out of the middle of nowhere.
Out of the middle. He's not in the middle of the room screaming that he's good.
Yeah.
He's not standing up and saying he's good with no evidence,
Yeah.
even though his evidence is terrible.
Yeah.
Man, but hey, that's my guy though. At least he's standing. Now that's standing on business.
Yeah.
Knowing the guy, and how it goes.
Stevie Matt, salute to you in the chat box.
Stevie.
So Chris, I was sitting there thinking about this. I thought about this earlier today, right? You got a little bit more, time on this earth than me, just a little bit,
just a smidge.
Yeah. You ever know, like, in a relationship where the point where the woman is mentally checked out, when she start talking to you like she's human resources?
I ain't never stayed around long enough for that, but I've heard people that have had those kind of situations. Yeah.
In hindsight, I know the exact moment where Brian Schottenheimer was sick of Trevon Diggs. At the beginning of the season, he started off, Trevon this, Trey that, 7, all sorts of things like that. I looked it up for when it happened because I talked about this on Vash Lombardi's show today. Shout out to Vash Lombardi. Salute to the plug.
That's what's up.
So on December 19th, on his press conference, he talked about what Trevon Diggs could do or has done and things of that nature. He said, Mr. Diggs is having a very good week. We'll see how he does today. But I'll say this, blah, 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 blah. If you notice there, at that point in time, on December 19th, it was Mr. Diggs. The week before that, it was Trevon. It was a variety of other things. But he started talking to him like he was human resources, Chris. And at that point, I think, in hindsight, of course, that was when Brian Schottenheimer checked out on Trevon Diggs.
First off, salute to you in your crack research to go out and figure out the date that he figured he was sold out on Trevon. I mean, that's great for him. My problem is, why hasn't he had that same kind of ire? Why hasn't he had that same kind of consistency? Why hasn't he had that same kind of rhetoric for Matt Eberflus and this terrible ass defense? that
Chris,
when we sit.
I think Chris. No,
Hold
go
on.
ahead, go ahead.
Yeah.
Land the plane, land the plane.
Why has he not? Why has he not had that same disposition with Matt
Mhm.
Eberflus and the way this defense is playing and saying, "Hey, maybe we do need to look at this." Why
Mhm.
has he not looked at that to the point where he put so much more pressure on the offense to be stellar at every point and never say, "Hey, man, maybe something's wrong with your defense,"
Mhm.
because I'm a full believer that Trevon Diggs ain't gonna be on no soup line. This won't be
Nope.
the last time we see Trevon Diggs in the NFL, and
Nope.
I think he's gonna go somewhere else and play extremely well.
Probably. I think that Trevon Diggs could probably go somewhere and start on 10 other teams.
Trevon Diggs can go play on 31 other teams in the NFL.
I'm talking about starting. He can go. He can go on.
He can
I want to
probably
say 10. When I thought about it earlier, it was either 10 or 11 that he can go
okay.
there and take someone's job like today.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. All right.
Now he can go anywhere and play. Be a
Right.
rotational guy. He can go to 31 other teams, but take someone's job today. I want to say 10 other teams.
Okay. That's almost a third of the league, correct?
Yep.
So okay. All right. All right.
So
hey, let me ask you a question before you go
ahead.
Where can Matt Eberflus go and take somebody's job at?
Chris, it gives me an allergic reaction to know that Matt Eberflus still got a job. Chris,
okay.
I'm actually upset that Diggs was out before Flus was.
Right. So
Chris, actually, if you want me to be real, I don't need none of these defensive coaches after this season. We sung White Cotton's praises a little bit because of his career, his relationship with Quentin Williams. Chris, I don't need Aaron White and Cotton for real. Quentin here.
Nah.
Quentin already got that contract. The relationship
contract.
was what got him here.
Yeah.
Now he can go.
He can
now
go.
He
Yeah.
can go.
Okay. All right. I think this is. I'm always pro player because the team is going to be here long and gone before Trey had maybe 3, 4, 5 more years as a Cowboy, or or he has maybe 8 to maybe, let's say, 5 to 8 more years in the NFL. NFL gonna march on. NFL gonna forget about Trevon Diggs. He's gonna go on with his life. So I've always wanted to be to the point of getting the player as much opportunity to be great as possible. And the Cowboys didn't do him any favors by not trying to keep any of the people that helped him become great. To turn around and get a second round talent that you didn't think you were supposed to get in the same draft you got CeeDee Lamb, and then him turn around and give you all pro, and then to turn around and say, oh, he's not this and not that. That's my whole thing about it. So I'm hoping nothing but the best for him.
Of course.
And it now it takes you from needing 9 players to needing 10 players.
Chris, I counted that hole. I counted that hole when I was thinking about what needs the Cowboys will fill, because we knew that he wouldn't be here after this season anyway. That was already accounted for.
I didn't account for that. I think I'm a person that believes, even though you may have a bad situation with this employee, I'm not going to downgrade the guy's talent and what he can do, right? And how he can progress. And if I get a better DC in here with a better scheme of things we're going on, it's going to be able to help. But now, okay, so you're saying even with him while he was still here, you were counting as 9 positions you needed.
Yeah. Because I knew that he wasn't going to be here next year.
Okay.
Right. I knew that bridge was burned off. As much as I hate it, because I do think that if you get a better DC, then you can make more use of his talents. I was at the acceptance stage of Brees. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. You were there. Okay, I'm still in the point of trying to wonder why in Greece.
You bargained. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. You asking yourself why, and you're bargaining.
Well, yeah. Okay, I understand. Okay.
Booming today, Chris. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh my gosh. Come on, man.
All right. Anyway. I'm sorry. I get lost. Sometimes.
Anyway.
Chris, let's think about this now. Because you obviously got some needs in the player personnel area, but you got some needs in the coach area too. Now the Cowboys can't necessarily talk to guys because that would be tampering for all intents and purposes right now.
Okay.
But do you think that they're going to stand on business when it comes to wanting players that want to be on this team and I hate to use the words fall in line, right? But that sounds a little bit more forceful than buy in. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that they're going to hold that same philosophy once they get their next DC?
I mean, I think they need a DC that can work a system with the talent that he has around him.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Zimmer was notorious for saying, "Hey, I don't care if you give me these guys, I'm going to make them work the way I can to make this thing work." And that's what Mike Zimmer did for the most part. You know, last year you couldn't really see, you couldn't see any help because, your offense was so porous, kicking it with Cooper Rush and things of that nature. But so it's kind of like last year, you didn't have enough weapons on the offense. Defense was trying, and the defense couldn't stop the run. So it made to the point it was a lose-lose. This year, your offense is stellar. It's top 5, top 7 in the league, but your defense is 35th in the league.
About 42nd.
Okay.
42nd.
Yeah.
It might fall to like 50th. Yeah,
it probably will go down to be the worst Cowboys defense of all time.
Yeah, but it is the worst Cowboys defense of all time.
Okay,
this might go down as one of the worst league defenses of all time.
Okay, I can see that as well. But so now you're to the point where you're going to try to bring some of these guys back because you can't go and get nine starters, but you gotta try to get what, 5 to 6. But hold on, let me finish. But to do that, you have got to act as if you're a real NFL franchise, and I'm not just the Dallas Cowboys. What does that mean?
I know what you mean by that, Chris. I'm glad. This is what I was about to say, Chris. In order to really fill every hole that you need on this defense, the draft ain't enough. You got to take full part in free agency. You have to.
Right. You got to go spend some money on some guys or make some decisions about some guys to bring some money in to do certain things. You got to you can't say I've dealt with free agents because I dealt with the guys on my team and that's all I need to do.
Ain't enough.
Ain't enough. You got to really go out here and find some guys in that you got to find a guy in the first tier. You got to go find some guys in the second tier, and you definitely got to find some guys in that third tier who have the ability to play, but maybe on the edge. But you really need to hit those first 2 tiers first, as long as signing your people, so you can go ahead and fill some of those gaps before you get to the draft. You need to go into the draft. Hold on, you need to go into the draft with at least 6 starters. And then whatever you do in the draft, if you double up in certain places that you already potentially got a starter, now you got a depth piece. Does that make sense?
And I'm glad that you used that word depth, Chris. For the past 2 years now, the 2 off seasons before this, so the off season after 2023 and the off season after 2024, the Cowboys have been hemorrhaging, that's a TI word of the day, depth at an alarming rate and have not been able to replenish it. Think about all of the guys that you've lost and the tier or level of player that you've replaced them with, whether they've been 1-year guys or whether they've been multi-year guys. Cowboys have not done well. They've been on life support when it comes to the level of talent that they've had year after year after year, from 23 to 24 to 25. So it's definitely going to take a lot to put this team back up into a healthy position, into a competitive position, because it could happen again next year where they lose a lot more depth talent and don't replace it with adequate guys.
So who's the depth talent that you're talking about? You may potentially lose what? Sam Williams?
I think that's I would call Sam Williams a depth guy. Yeah, I mean he's a depth guy. There's nothing wrong with a player of his level being called that. I'm okay with that. This year, Chris, you're so bad on defense that it's hard to even be upset if you lose any guy this year. But I'll use last year. Losing Eric Kendricks and then replacing him with Kenneth Murray. Losing this one really sucks. right? Losing D-Law and then turn around and losing Micah and replacing them 2 weeks after the season with D-Law and also Dante Fowler. Expecting Dante Fowler to be the main guy and still be a double-digit sack guy.
I think what we're saying is that some of the pieces that the pieces that they were expecting to be depth pieces, never turned.
You want to know the biggest one? You want to know the biggest one in my opinion? Jordan Lewis.
I don't think he was the biggest one. I think Michael was the biggest one.
No, Micah not a depth piece though. Micah not a depth piece.
No, but Michael was a huge piece to what they were trying to do.
Micah is the dude. He's the linchpin.
No,
I'm talking about like you losing depth everywhere over the last 2 years.
But you lost. Okay, so you traded away Micah. You let D-Law go. You let Jordan Lewis go. But then also another guy.
Now I will say this though. I'll say this at the same time. I'm happy for Jordan Lewis. I'm happy because for years he was the tough guy. Didn't necessarily get paid like a lot of money. He was able to go somewhere else and get his bag. So I'm happy for Jordan Lewis when it comes to that.
But the thing about it, he was a slot corner, and so he was a slot guy. So they weren't willing to pay a slot guy, but they ended up paying a slot guy, thinking he was an outside guy when he's really still a slot guy. But let's go back to what we were saying.
Crazy how that worked.
Yeah, ain't that crazy? So you trade away Micah, which was hurt you immensely because he was the motor to this thing. You didn't offer D-Law a contract, but D-Law had a whole bunch in his tank because he's about to be on a playoff team in Seattle. Jordan Lewis, he turned around. You said, okay, we're not going to pay you because we're going to pay this other guy, and he's on a playoff team. So when you let those three big pieces go, that was huge. Also, the loss of Marshawn Nealon, rest in power, to the point that hurt. And then you didn't have anybody else who could get to the passer. You didn't have any other bona fide pass rusher, but you expected Sam Williams to turn it on after 3 years of just making mistake after mistake after mistake. Then he was going to light bulb was going to come on, and then you thought Dante Fowler was going to come here and be a A1 or a starter when really he's a situational supplemental pass rusher.
Yeah,
man, this
supplemental. I think is the perfect word to describe Fowler.
Right, but the thing about it is he still ended up in his supplementary role or his backup role, his depth role. He was able to still get 6 to 8 sacks when he was nowhere near that. So it's just to the point. It's a comedy errors, and then we got to go with the biggest one of all, dealing with Mozzie.
Yeah,
thinking Mozzie was going to turn it around, thinking Mozzie was going to figure it out, and so, and then you deal with Mozzie, you deal with golly.
Give me the position.
He's D tackle who ended up leaving. He came in the same year with Osa.
Bohanna.
No. Chauncey Golston. You ended up losing Chauncey Golston. Golston was a really big time glue guy that helped you in so many different areas. So I think it's just
isn't he in San Francisco now?
He's somewhere. He's somewhere. I think everybody that left went somewhere and started winning. Nashon Wright left. He's somewhere winning. Jordan Lewis somewhere living. Somewhere else winning. Micah still yet hurt. His team's still winning. So I mean, it's just to the point, man. I think you've lost too many pieces, and then people who wanted to stay, you decide to show them the door, and it's kind of falling down around you, not keeping. Not keeping. Just let my man in the DB room. When Joe Witt left, okay, and you didn't keep Al Harris. That was just really to the point where, hey, Al Harris had been here. You knew him. If you weren't gonna keep Zim, make him the DC because you knew he could turn around and get this defense to go a certain kind of way. But you know what? You wanted to go with experience, and what your experience is one of the worst defenses ever put on an NFL football field. That's what you're experiencing.
I mean, and I'm not going to say he's the de facto DC in Chicago, but he has a lot more responsibilities over there. You could have made him like an assistant DC or something like that. Paid him, a good chunk of change, and been able to keep him happy. Talking about Al Harris, of course.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man. If they wanted to stick with somebody that they were familiar with, he would have definitely been my first choice. Sad to see also Aiden Durde have a lot of success in Seattle.
Another guy that you had in your building another guy you had in your building who was transcending to a certain
Yeah.
level. You
Yeah.
didn't even keep him around. You see what I'm saying? This it's just like, you're like a G5 program in college. You're the stepping stone for guys to come get some knowledge, get a little battle tested, go somewhere else and be great.
Yeah.
And it's a sad situation. So now you're gonna start over again with the fourth DC and a certain and you gotta gut this thing defensively. So you got to be able to be in full-fledged in the free agency. Go ahead.
You know what I hope doesn't happen, Chris?
What?
You remember during those late Romo years, the Cowboys were soft rebuilding for a long time, and the team could never get right for Romo. And by the time it did get right, it was Dak Prescott's time. I hope that that's not what we see by the end of Dak Prescott's time here.
Yeah, I mean, I just want them to do all phases of. I think if you really want to put this thing back together, it might not be ready in 26, but it needs to start looking like it's together in 26. Because maybe you need 7 to 9 players on defense, and maybe you get 5 that have the potential to take the next step, and then in 27 you get those 5 more guys, and then you're gonna be towards the end of Dak's prime. But
Dak got 3, maybe 4 years left. Here.
Depends on
here.
Yeah. Oh, here. Yeah. So
just because I don't at the moment I don't believe that he signs another contract here.
No,
that could be 35 by that time. I think that they'll try to look forward to the future at that point.
Yeah, they'll do it. I mean,
and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's just how time is. You know what I'm saying? He'll be a 14-year vet by that time. But
legend at the bank.
Hey, look. Cashier's best friend, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They call him Mr. Prescott there.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He only speaks with one person, that whole building.
Yeah.
But Chris,
the president comes right downstairs. Hello, Mr. Prescott. How are you? What would you like to? What would your innovation be for the day? Yeah,
Chris, he wipes his hands. He wipes his hands off before he shakes his hand.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Chris, I hope that that's not what we see with that, because we are a very talent deficient team right now. It's on one side of the ball, and on most teams, needing like 5 to 6 guys on an entire team. Well, 7 to 9 guys on an entire team wouldn't seem like such a daunting task. We need 7 to 9 guys on one side of the ball.
On one side of the ball.
We're not even talking about addressing tackle or addressing running back or potentially addressing tight end. You know what I'm saying? We're not even talking about that yet.
No, you're not. So yeah, this is a football team that, once again, for numbers purposes, will probably end up having a just an even break-even season. They got a great chance to go and beat the Giants, and they'll be 7-7-1. And 8-7-1, right?
8-1. Yep,
8-1. My bad.
If
Forgive
they
me.
beat the Giants, they would be a perfectly 500 football team.
Yeah, so they'll be exactly what they've always been. A football team with a lot of eyes on them, but absolutely average.
Yeah, man, crazy. I do think that getting that, not having a losing season in your first year, is super important for Shotty.
Okay.
At the very least for his pride. But you hurt your team next year by winning.
Listen, he'll be able to say, "Hey, Mike McCarthy didn't do it his first year. He came in, he had a losing season, and that didn't happen to me." Okay, he can take that. He can take that. That ceremonial laugh around that. He didn't have a losing season, but his football team looks terrible right now. Because if you had the things that you got to gut on this thing, and the questions you have to go out here and answer, and the hope of the people that you're going to end up signing, so hoping they can do this again, put you in a terrible situation.
Absolutely. And then Chris, what pisses me off so much, you're not guaranteed to have this prolific offense next year. You're not guaranteed that. A perfect example is the Chiefs. 2 years ago, remember that Chiefs offense? They started going downhill last year, and then they went further downhill this year. So
I mean,
you're not guaranteed that, Chris.
you're not guaranteed to have the ability of health with your
Yep.
offensive line like that. You know, you
Hmm.
probably did have some things with Tyler Guyton and he couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah.
That bothered you somewhat, but you're not blessed to know you're going to have another 18 game, 17 game um, trot out here with
Yeah.
your offensive line being 100% healthy. And even though
With
they
any
got
player.
nicked up this
With
year,
any
or
player.
anybody, right? So I mean, you're one play away from changing the whole face of your team. So you're
And then
walking
just in
into it.
general, Chris, like your quarterback's leading the league in passing right now. That's not a guarantee next year. You got a running back who is top 10 in rushing, who and I promise I don't mean anything by this. Who nobody really wanted Javonte when he was a free agent. You're not even if you draft a rookie or you get a guy in free agency, you're not guaranteed to have that level of success on the ground again.
No, you're not.
Like,
I mean, shoot.
like each year is different. You know what I'm saying? Your competition and your schedule and all of that stuff is totally different next year.
And they got a whole year, and they got a whole year of tape on you to see what you did.
Exactly.
So now you got to metamorphosize yourself or transform yourself into something else, and you got to move people around, and you don't want to let certain people go because of what they have, because of the unknown that you don't know what's out there. It's a scary situation.
It
really
is. It is, man. So I hate that they wasted a year of this offense, Chris. I hate that. Like there's no other way to describe it. They wasted this top NFL offense.
Without question, yeah. But they wasted it with that wish me juice that they love to drink and said, oh, we I believe Ken Murray can turn into a legitimate linebacker.
He was a depth piece in Tennessee.
Hey, come on, man. I believe, and I was singing the praise of new place for Kyrie Elam. Maybe he'll turn around and be able to do this. Come on.
I will accept my flowers for that now, by the way. I told you, man, don't depend on these guys. Pretend like they don't exist.
I mean, but if you bring him in free agency, you gotta expect him to be able to do something. That's my whole point. We're talking about being all in free agency. And if you bring a guy in free agency, you expect him to be able to perform. Well, Kyrie,
if someone did not work out in their first destination, I may expect for him to be a depth piece or something like that. But
somebody's going to pick up Trevon Diggs and think of him being 2 years removed from being all pro as just being a depth guy.
With his health, yes. Over the last 3 years, once Trevon Diggs got paid, from when he got paid onward, he's missed 29 games. 100%. I wouldn't have too much
of the games he's missed this year. Has it? You think it's been all his health?
No. This year,
okay.
No. I would say he missed like 6 games due to I don't want to use the word shenanigans. It was a kerfuffle that caused him to miss like 6 additional games. But I believe that. Give me a mic check right quick.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool.
All right, so I think that Diggs missed 6 games this year due to things and stuff and things. You know what I'm saying? But prior to that, last year, injury. Year before that, injury. It wasn't no politics behind that.
No, the year before it was injury. The year before that, he was all pro though.
22, he was all pro?
Yeah.
No, excuse me, not 22, 23. He was all pro? I thought he tore his ACL in 23, I thought.
Okay.
He had the bone. No, not the bone spurs. What was it?
No,
he had the microfracture last year. He had the ACL in 23.
All right. Okay. I mean, okay. I'm not gonna blame. I'm not gonna sit up and say everything he lost because of injury, because remember he ended up hurting his foot his rookie year and still came back and was still being productive.
Now, so I'm not completely aware of the severity of the injury, right? But apparently the surgery that goes along with having microfractures is like life altering. What they do is they like drill into your bone to allow blood to flow into which can then form new cartilage. But the recovery from it and then life afterwards is excruciating because it's constant pain whenever you're applying pressure on it. You know what I'm saying?
You're having to apply pressure doing super athletic type stuff. So I can
Exactly.
understand that. I can
So
understand that too.
that, like, even though there's been and I only know this because I did some research on it during the off season, right? Even though the surgeries have advanced, leaps and bounds from even 5 years ago, it's still very, very, very tough to be able to be, like you said, a super athlete.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely think that along with the ACL had a lot to do with it. It took a lot of his speed away from him, probably. Probably some change of direction skills. That's just me guessing. So yeah, if I was a team that was picking him up, I would be wary long term about his health. But right now, I think that Diggs is healthy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I don't think he's going to be in the soup line. And I still think he'll come back. I think he'll be able to come back and he'll be able to play in the NFL. It just puts this team, the team that we love, the team that we cover, the team that we spend a lot of time looking at, in a really bad situation.
Sure.
I'm like 9 players you need to help this thing. It's only like two players that I'm even thinking about that maybe three on defense that can't get up out of here.
And I would exclude guys who are rookies this year. Excluding rookies this year, because they generally let their rookies get to year 2, right? I'm keeping my D tackles. As a Rocky,
one linebacker. Linebacker. Well,
I say 2 linebackers. I think they want to see what they have in Overshown next year. Overshown and Shamar James.
I wouldn't even think about Shamar James. Shamar James just really runs fast.
Rookie.
He really runs
fast. They generally allow rookies to get to year 2. So, But yeah, I mean that's something that I think we can talk about. We might talk about that next video, Chris.
We can do that.
Because I'm like 30 players in right now. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of want to pad my stats a little bit more.
You got to pad that because we got a long way to go.
Yeah. I love Keldrick Falk though, Chris. I like Keldrick Falk though, Chris, man. I like him.
Hey man, it's too early to have early to have a pet cat.
No. I wouldn't call him a pet cat because I've only watched like 4 edge rushers. But yeah,
like I said,
so far
it's too early to fall in love. But I understand. It's certain guys that I fell in love with too. But
right now,
we're digging that level.
Just to kind of let you know, right now I've watched Ruben Bain, Peter Woods, Keldrick Falk, and David Bailey.
Okay.
I think I like David Bailey a lot. I like David Bailey a lot, by the way.
Oh, from Texas Tech?
Yeah. I like David Bailey.
Yeah.
Anything else, Chris?
There's still somebody else on this board. There's still somebody else that once you see him, you're gonna want to throw all those guys in the garbage.
You talk about the other dude from Miami? Oh, who?
Oh, Mr. Styles.
He's a linebacker. Sonny Styles is a linebacker.
Sonny Styles is whatever you want to be.
Same thing with Arvo Reese is also a linebacker, even though he can do the edge rushy stuff.
Yeah.
But I've watched both of them. But they linebackers.
Okay. Nah. Reese is whatever he wants to be. Reese is a weapon.
Yeah.
Reese is an absolute weapon.
Now, Arvo Reese might mess around to be my best player in the draft, Chris. I ain't gonna lie to you. Whew.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said,
he's insane. He's insane. Chris.
We got a long way to go, though. We got a long way to go.
Hey. Anything else, Chris?
Nah, man, that's it, man. Hey, man, salute to Trevon, man. Peace to him and his family. Hope things go well with him, and we'll see him somewhere else, suited up somewhere else soon. I hope he's healthy. I hope he has the second phase of his NFL career is blessed and prosperous, man.
Yep, absolutely.
In the immortal words of hey man, we're gonna walk out in the immortal words of Boys to Men. It's so hard to say goodbye to Trevon Diggs. Hey, man, we are Frankly Football, man. We're going to come try to get the best content out here, man. We appreciate you tapping in with us. Make sure you like, you share, you subscribe. Drop a comment. Drop a comment in the comment section. And, man, until next time, man, this is my main man, Brandon, and I'm Set It All Chris, and we will forever be Frankly Football. Peace.